Friends Net. This is WA4LLR, Dave in Burnsville, North Carolina. Calling CQ the Old Friends Net. This net meets 3 times weekly, Tuesday mornings at 9 a.m., Thursday mornings at 9 a.m., and Sunday evenings at 6:30 p.m. on this frequency, 3715 plus or minus crystal frequencies. Anyway, this net is conducted in the amplitude modulation mode and carried out in the old-fashioned around. It's an excellent place to get information, look for parts and pieces, and maybe swap a rig or two, catering mainly to the vintage equipment genre, but certainly open to any type of rig that can generate an AM signal. So, CQ, the Old Friends Net. This is WA4LLR, and I'll stand by for calls.
N4LQ.
November 4, Charlie Lima Yankee.
E4 to win. WB4ARK.
WB4NKL.
November 4, Charlie Lima Yankee.
November 4 Alpha Kilo N4 AK.
W4VRO. K4VWD. W4MEC.
Let me tell you what I have. I have N4LQ. I think it's N4CLY, Cly. I may have the prefix wrong. NC4ON, WB4ARK, WB4NKL, K4GN, K4JAL, AK, K4VWD, and W4ME.
Test 1 2, test 1 2. 1 2 3 4. Test 1 2, test 1 2. 1 2 3 4. Let that tune. For some reason it lost its tuning on this frequency.
YONARK, NKL, GDN, JAL, AK, VRO, AWD, MAC. One more standby. Any other check-in? Okay, nothing heard. Good morning to everybody. We've got 69 degrees and overcast in Burnsville, North Carolina, or just east of Burnsville. And so far, everybody's coming in well. Running the BC 610C as usual, and receiving on the BC 342N. So, we'll begin passing the microphone around. Speaking of you, N4LQ, WA4LLR.
WA4LLR is N4LQ. Saying good morning, everybody, from Shelby, North Carolina. And it's already getting a little stuffy outside. It's 80 degrees and sunny. It's going to be a nice warm day here. And we're running the AF68 Elmec and driving the AL1200 and it's a horizontal loop antenna. And trying to record this thing. I'm not sure if the audio is good or not. I had a lot of trouble last night trying to get all this stuff wired up. So you have hum everywhere. I had to I had to order another line isolation device. It goes in line with your audio to break the ground so you don't have hum. But when you combine RF and audio, you start having problems, as you know. And I had plenty of them. Anyway, last night forgot to put my cell phone in the charger and got that sitting here charging now. So starting to wake up. And I already had my bowl of cereal and Mountain Dew for the morning. So I guess it goes to Cly, N4CLY, N4LQ.
All right, Steve, good morning. Yeah, it's warm out here, and I got to put up a garage today. I got to put a temporary garage up. It's going to be hot, and it's going to be miserable out there building that thing, but my boat cover was leaking. And I went out yesterday, and my boat had about an inch of water in it. And I had to go buy a temporary garage till I can get one of those metal ones put up. And so I got a long day ahead of me. I'm not sure, but I think it was NC4ON who was after me. I had a radio problem and didn't catch it as good as I'd like to. So I'll turn it over, N4CLY.
Yeah, Roger Cly, N4CLY in the group NC4ON. Good morning, everybody. From Denver here, 78 degrees and nice and sunny. And good morning, Dave, for doing the net. Thank you for that. You're coming in beautiful. I hear everybody. So next on the list, I think, is Buddy, WB4ARK. Here it comes, NC4ON. Go ahead.
NC4ON. NC4ARK. Well, we have a very beautiful, clear day today, and looks like it's going to be quite warm with high humidity. So we're going to be inside today for the most part, and receiving everybody Q5 this morning. No problems at all. Band is very quiet. No interference. So that's good. And we'll pass it on to WB4NKL. WB4ARK.
Now WB4ARK, WB4NKL. Okay, buddy. Yeah, I got 72 tonight here, and it's supposed to get up to 90. And I was looking at the forecast. It's going to be a warm week. I think 94 Friday, which is will be the hottest day we've had this year, this summer. So after that, it starts dropping off. Hope it's a little cooler down around by the next week when Shelby comes around. Everybody's sounding good here, like everybody said, good quiet conditions. Don't hear all that QRN static and stuff going on. Go ahead, George. How's things at Myrtle Beach? K4 or GDN? That's WB4NKL.
WB4NKL and K4 GDN. Well, at Myrtle Beach is far less clear. It's already in the low 80s. Humidity is way up there, and it's been terrible for the last few days here in the third world. And I'm running the multi-OMAC AF67 and receiving on the PRM7, as well as listening a little bit of the HRO50. And everybody's coming in pretty well here. There is a little QRP on some signals, but other than that, things seem to be pretty good. And Glenn, there's a check in the mail. You should be getting it here shortly. Put it in there yesterday. And Lee, I hope you got a copy of that article on the HRO5s. I think we identified yours as somewhere around, been made somewhere in the mid-30s anyway. So with that, let's see, I'll pass it on to Jimmy. K4JNL of the group K4GDN.
K4GDN, K4JNL. Well, I had a lot of things there in the middle, George, but I heard it pretty good on the front end. So everything's going good here. I got something squealing. I don't know what's going on. I hope you didn't beat that. Let me give it on to Glenn. N4AK, K4JAL. Over to you, Glenn.
Okay. K4JAL and a pig squealing in the background. November 4 Alpha Kilo. All right, fellas, 78 degrees here in Sunset this morning, partly cloudy. I'm running the TS2000, so Charlie will know it's still at work. And SB200, I'm only running 100 watts of AM on the inverted L antenna. So, George, I'm copying you, not worried about the check, but I have all the books for the receiver, and I've downloaded the articles from Electric Radio on any modifications and updates on that receiver, which I have not done. So I'll include those for you. So, Charlie, you might tell me what the plans are this morning. I've reserved it. I've reserved my time for seeing you, and if Lee is coming or not. And Ray, you got a pipeline here, a great signal up here this morning. Otherwise, some of the signals are kind of weak. I got a little QSB. W4VRO and 4AK.
N4AK and the net. N4. Okay, now I'm okay, I think. N4AK and the net. W4VRO. Thank you for the report, Glenn, and good morning. Good morning, Dave. BC610 sounds great. And Steve, no hum on your audio. And George, what have you done? You have a strong signal in here. It's moving S meter, and you're just as solid copy as you can be. It's been a long time, George, since I copied you without missing a single word. You're sounding great. And the band's quiet. The band is very quiet here this morning, and propagation seems to be pretty good. Signals are very good this morning. So, Lee, how are you? K4VWD in the group W4VRO.
Okay, Ray, thank you. W4VRO, this is K4VWD. I'm using my normal AirMic and the banded amplifier, about 200 watts. And receiving on the PMR8, the dipole. So the temperature just changed over to 79 here on my outside thermometer, so it's going to be a warm day. It's sure good to hear everybody, and I hope everybody has a blessed day. So Charlie, here she comes, W4MEC, K4VWD.
Very good, Lee. K4VWD and the old friends group, W4MEC. Good morning, everybody. It's well, it was a few minutes ago, 72 degrees outside and clear and probably going to be a hot one. It got hot yesterday. Wasn't nice, but it's August. It's summertime. What do you expect? And this is the northern hemisphere, so I guess in South America it's probably cool. But anyway, yeah, the trip is planned to go get Lee, Glenn. My son advised me that they have been paving Highway 290, so I'm going to have to take a look at traffic there. Might have to pick a different route to get there, but half the time the other two routes are just as plugged up as Highway 290 being paved. So normally takes about an hour and 15 minutes to get to Lee from here, so I might, if I run into any trouble, I'll give Lee a call and let him know there. So let's see, what else? Well, on my using my normal station here, the East Kid Apache, and receiving on a Mohawk receiver. And last Sunday and today, I've been running with the IF gain at 0, and the RF gain just cracked about 9 o'clock. So, and even George is coming in with it. We're not very raised up. So, overall, the sensitivity on the Mohawk is at minimum, and everybody's still booming in. So everybody's doing good. A little bit of QSP on
Dave, believe it or not, and Ray, but everybody else is doing well here. So back to you, Dave. WA4LL on the group, W4MEC.
Dave, did we skip Jimmy, K4JL?
No, we got him.
Well, that was my mistake then. Sorry, go ahead.
Yes, he was torturing the pig. Remember the squeal. All right, let me take a quick standby. Do we have any other stations wishing to join in? Come now. Nothing heard. W4MEC and the group. WA4LLR. All right, 100% copy all the way around. I don't know what. It sounded like you had an unmuted receiver there with you. Audio feedback. Exactly what the issue was. Anyway, let's see here. Steve, as always, the FCCA sounds great. And good signal this morning, and good luck with that temporary garage. And Stefan, you're super good up here. Buddy, always good strong signal, and fine business on the clear skies. Cliff, I'm like you. I hope it's a little bit cooler in Shelby without us being inundated with too much rain. George, sounding good. AF67 is doing a good job for you. And Jimmy, hope you tame that pig. Glenn, TS2000 sounds really good, and Ray, you've got a good signal up this way today. But Lee, you're the top dog. You're the bandmaster on this go round today. And Charlie, okay on the get together with Glenn and I just left him. And Lee, oh man, I'm telling you, getting old is something else. Well, let's see here. Trying to get preparations done for Shelby this week. Get the camper in shape and the trailer and so on and so forth. And trying to figure out what to bring down that way and see if I can trade something with somebody. As far as space weather, sunspot counts 102, solar flux index is 149, and the K, last reported that I saw, was 1.67. So solar activity's calmed down a little, and that sure seems to be better on us fellas down on the land. A few items from this day in history. On this day in 1775, the American plane began the state of Oklahoma Rebellion. On this day in 1846, we annexed New Mexico. On this day in 1865, a patent for liquid soap was issued to William Shepard. On this day in 1902, President Theodore Roosevelt became the first president of the U.S. to ride in an automobile in Hartford, Connecticut. In 1906, the Victor Talking Machine Company of Camden, New Jersey began manufacturing the Victrola. And in 1906, it sold for $200. And man, that's 1932, the BBC began its first TV broadcast in England. And on 1941, Nazi troops reached the outskirts of Leningrad in World War II. And that's probably enough for this day in history. So, we'll send it back around. N4LQ, WA4LLR.
WA4LLR, N4LQ. A little bit of QSB there toward the end, but otherwise everybody's sounding really good here. And George blasting in from Myrtle Beach, and Ray was coming in real strong for the game. And Jimmy, you just squealing like a pig. Boy, that was really quite a show. But I got it on tape here, so we can go back and listen to it. Cly, okay on your on your garage project. My son bought one of those one time, and he had it up for a couple of years. It kind of ended up permanent until he sold the house and moved. And I think he got it from like J.C. Whitney or somebody. It's been a long time ago. and just a bunch of metal rods and canvas, or not canvas, but whatever that plastic is, turned it into a garage. And let's see here. AF67 sounded good, George. And let's see, how many does that make? That's the 167, and me and who had an AF68? Somebody else did. Lee, of course. And Charlie's Apache sounds good. Always does. I don't know why somebody dubbed them the Scratchy Apache one time, and I never really figured out why, because I thought they always sounded fine to me. I wonder if you can fill us in on that, Charlie, and maybe there's some popular mod they made. But the IF gain on the Mohawk, I like that feature. The more controls, the better. And I had a Mohawk for a long time, and I got a Drake 2B, and it kind of took over because I was doing mostly CW work anyway. So yesterday I went out to the street, and we got a big fig tree out there next to the driveway, and it has been absolutely loaded with figs this year. I stood there and I ate about 15 figs, and I didn't feel too good all day yesterday because of that. I had to take some thumbs, so I need to taper off, but you know, they don't last long. They fall off, or the bugs get them, or the birds or something, and a lot of them are too high for me to reach. So I guess what I need to do is get a ladder or something and pick them and dry them out and make dried figs out of them. Anyway, Glenn, TS2K sounds good. Guess you're getting it all ready for Charlie. Hate to see you get rid of that. That's one of the best sounding AM rigs you got. I hate to say it, but it does sound good on AM. So, Clyde, go ahead and take it. N4CLY, N4LQ.
All right. Thank you, Steve. Yeah, everybody sounds great here in Ellenboro today, that's for sure. I've never been able to hear everyone. There was always one person, that I couldn't hear. But today, everybody's clear and everybody's strong. And, yeah, got any ideas on how to tie that thing down? So if you get any high winds, let me know. I'm thinking about 4 or 5 gallon buckets of concrete tied to it and holding it down. I don't think I have any other way of tying it down around here other than putting concrete in buckets and holding it down. I don't get a lot of winds here. I'm on the side of a hill, so the winds usually go above us, but just in case, I gotta figure out a way to tie that garage down. If anybody has a good idea on it, you can let me know. And I will turn it back over to NC4ON, N4CLY.
Yeah, Roger, Clyde, N4CLY in the group, NC4ON. All right, everybody's coming in beautiful. I'm on my Apache Lab radio, SDR radio. I'm using an RE27 microphone. I switched recently since I had some issues with the condenser mic, and this is working out much better now, so I'm pretty happy with the setup. Okay, very good. Good sunny day. It's running up.
My amp is off. It probably must have tried it.
All good. I'm on my input antenna and doing about 250 watts at the moment, coming from my LS600. All right, back to Buddy there. WB4ARK, NC4ON in the group. Go ahead.
NC4ON, WB4ARK. Well, the QSP took over Clive's signal there kind of at the end, and really messed it up, but it was still a good copy. Dave, I have a propane question for you, and Duncan is going to change over one of his engines to propane because it's really a big hassle to run it on coal. takes a long time to clean it and scrub it down. So
Change that timer to 35
basically what we're going to do is we're going to have a burner rack with about 28 burners on it, and that's going to be connected through a regulator and a valve to the propane tank. These are going to be horizontal propane tanks, and I think the connection is a CGA 510 to the propane tank, and I'm wondering should we connect two of these tanks in parallel and then connect the regulator to that Y connection, or do we need to have a regulator on each of the tanks? So that's one of the questions there. We might have to go to the internet and finish this conversation. So, but anyhow, that's what we got. So over to Cliff, WB4 NKL, WB4 ARK.
Okay, buddy, WB4 ARK, WB4 NKL. Well, the conditions changed a lot that go around. First go around, everybody was solid, and the second go around QSB, and I didn't copy much of Cly, and
It's my fault.
Stefan was noticeably weaker, so conditions changing fast. I'm gonna get out, say 73s. I need to get out here and walk before it gets any hotter. It's supposed to get up to 90 after a while, so it takes me about an hour and 20 minutes to get around this loop here, so it'll be plenty warm by the time I get around. So 73s, enjoyed it. Thanks for calling it, Dave, and we'll try to catch everybody Thursday. George, if you can copy, here it comes, K4GDN. It's WB4NKL.
WB4NKL and the group's K4GDN. Yeah, the band does seem to be changing. There is some QSB in there. And just like to throw one thing out here on the PMR7. I started having some problems with it last season with the audio just determined that the signal was fine coming out of the next to the last IF stage. Coming into the detector on pin 6 of V7, it was okay, but if you looked on the gain control, it went away. And the way this happened was I had my filaments on before I turned the B plus on. And when I turned the B plus on initially, the audio was fine, and in about 5 seconds it would fade away. And it kept doing that. And what turns out was the AVC switch, which is normally closed for AM, and that's on the squelch control, which I never use. It wasn't closed. It clicked like it was closed, but it wasn't. And for some reason, that was having an effect on the detector, and it was making the audio go away. And to replace that switch would really be a mess in the PMR7, as it's got 2 pots ganged ahead of the switch. So I just hardwired the switch closed, and everything seems to be okay. And Glenn, thanks. Appreciate all the stuff you're sending with the receiver. It's always good to get something from you. Your stuff is always number one. That's why I had no qualms about getting that. I'm really kind of interested in that receiver since I got an HRO 50 T1. It seems like the NC300 was kind of the follow-on after the HRO 60, and I kind of avoid the 60. And just out of curiosity, Glenn, did you do anything about that current stabilizing tube they put in the 4H4C, I think it is? That was always apparently an issue with the HRO 60 and to some extent the NC300. Anyway, let's see what else here. Like I say, the band seems to be changing. I am running the AF67 into the homebrew 811 linear, and I'm putting out somewhere around 130 watts idling carrier power, so that should be pretty good. Filling the inset halfway. So with that, let's see. It goes to Jimmy. Hopefully Jimmy's got things straight now. I had a little bit of a corner stopping yesterday.
GDN, K4JL, there comes the squeal again, guys. I'm going to get out of here. I don't know what's going on. I'm getting some feedback through my speaker, and I don't know how. 7-3, Steve, where are those fig leaves? Not the figs. K4JAL over to M4AK. Have a good one. 7-3.
I don't know. When I get that feedback, it's because I've been running digital, and I've got my monitor on the receiver, and I forget about it. So I don't know if you've been running digital and you got your monitor on. But anyway, good to hear you, Jimmy. I've got a little QSB. And George, I'm not up to speed on that tube. I hadn't changed anything on the tube. But I tell you what I did. I couldn't find the crystal calibrator, so I built a crystal calibrator, and so it works fine. I just copied the circuit. I had all the parts, so there's a crystal calibrator in there, and I put a little 12-volt power supply on there because I have a computer fan that I attach to the back of the receiver, and it's not permanent. It's done with plastic ties, so if you want to take it off, fine, but I always try to run a little computer fan on my old rig. So anyway, that's what that's all about. So thanks for the signal report, Steve. Charlie, that didn't cost me too much, but QSB's getting a lot of guys, but Ray, you're still coming in here, and I'm not quite up to speed, Charlie, and whether Lee and whether we're going to meet for lunch or not. If we are, I'll give you an address where we can meet. Hamburgers, Italian food, lasagna, whatever. So, and Ray, I wonder if you're going to be making a visit to Pickens anytime soon. W4VRO N4AK.
N4AK and the net, W4VRO. Lynn, I don't have a definite date, but I'll be in Pickens County soon. And I'll keep you posted on that because I've missed you the last couple of times I was up there. I had so much to do that I sure would love to see you. Thanks for the signal report, Glenn, on the last transmission and the first one. On your first transmission, you were one of the strongest signals I was hearing. And I was surprised when you said you were running only 100 watts. But all signals are still good. Stefan, occasionally I have difficulty copying you, but this morning you've been Q5 all the way so far. As of just about all stations. And George copies you solid that time. I'm glad to be hearing you. Let's see, Clyde, good luck and good progress with that temporary garage. I hope that goes well for you. And let's see, I guess that's about all I had now. So I'll listen for a few minutes, but I'm going to pull a switch to Jimmy. Hope you find that scrolling problem without any trouble. Well, thanks for calling in, and enjoy hearing all of you. I want to be sure I didn't skip another note here somewhere, but Cliff, if you're still listening, and Jimmy too, 73s to you guys, and 73 all. Hope to see you Thursday. K4VW in the group, W4VRO.
Okay, Ray, thank you. This is K4VWD from W4VRO. Well, you got a good signal here in Greenville, and the temperature's just changed up to 80. So we're up to 80 already. So it's going to be a warm one. And yeah, Glenn, I'll be there. I hope so. I hope that restaurant doesn't have any stairs. I had a terrible time with stairs. I hope it's at ground level. and everything's fine here. Got no particular problems at the moment. And I'm hearing everybody, even Copper George. So, Charlie, back down to you. W4MEC in the group, K4VWD.
Okay, Lee, real good. K4VWD and the old friends, W4MEC. Okay, got some comments here. First, Glenn, Lee let you know that he's coming. I got to go down there and pick him up. Actually, I'm going to check out the S-meter circuit in the HRO that quit working. And then we'll head your way. We should be there around noonish. If 290 Highway 290 is nice to me. I just checked it, and there was no blockage, so apparently they got it paved. I am watching a royal mess on I-85, and it's moving, but it's dark orange, so that means it's moving slow between Highway 14 and Pelham Road, which is only about 2 miles, but I can continue on down 14 and backtrack a little bit. So anyway, so plan on around noon, and let me know where we're going. I think you mentioned that place one time before, and I looked it up. Let's see, Steve, Scratchy Apache, that was its nickname, because it was all highs and no lows in the audio. And, these kids designed a standard microphone amp and 12AX7, 2 stages using both halves, and it was driving I forget what tube, maybe a 12BY7. I can't remember the driver tube or phase splitter. No, it wasn't a phase splitter. It got a transformer that split the phase and sent it to the modulator tubes, which were anyway. The whole problem is, for some reason, you look at the circuit that his kid used, and they're pretty identical in the handbook and other transmitters, but they put 500 picofarad coupling caps between the first half of the 12AX7, the second half, and into the driver tube for the audio driver. And there is a ton of modifications out there, tons of them, and including completely ripping the entire audio stage out and redesigning it. Well, our good buddy, good friend, K4DEE Jim said, "No, you don't have to do all that. Just swap out the 500 picofarads with .01s," and that's what I did. So that's the way it's been since within a year of finding the thing back in the 90s. So a pair of .01 capacitors, and made it sound a lot better. And that's the secret to that thing. Let's see, Clyde, holding down that temporary garage. I guess it's like the Harbor Freight model there. Like a fella who said it, Steve, about metal tubes and a canvas-like substance. But I'm not sure what they use, what is there to grab onto. If there's something on the rods at the bottom that you can hook onto, and Lowe's and Home Depot, I guess, sell 3-foot lengths of small rebar. I've had luck with holding things down, is getting that, putting it in a vise and banging the end of it into a U. It's bang about a 4-inch U on the end of it that will fit whatever you're going to hold down. And I use it to hold the bottom of a fence down to keep my dog from digging out. And it works pretty good. If you got a acetylene torch, it's real easy. You just heat it up and bend it with a... But if you don't have that, you just put it in the jaws of a vise and bang it around the jaw of the vise there. It will be perfect. But I don't know what it holds down with. Buddy, on converting to gas. Pretty cool. I hope Duncan and you have kept up on the technology and are going, apparently the best thing out there is called a Bengie burner, B-E-N-G-I-E, Bengie burner. They deliver between 5,000 to 12,000 BTU an hour per each, and can run between a quarter PSI and 2 PSI of line pressure. So Bengie burner, if you're not familiar with them, go look them up. They're real popular in the live steam community now for conversions. And I've seen some of these trains that only have locomotives that only have like 4 burners in some of these 7.5-inch gauge trains. So it doesn't. They look from the pictures. It looks like it really breaks the flame up. You don't get a little pointy flame out of it. You get a complete envelope of flame. So it looks like it's about 3 inches in diameter. So Might be something to check out there. So that's my notes, and let's see, did I miss anything? No. So back to you, Dave. WA4LRR in the group W4MEC.
All right, W4MEC and the group WA4LR. One quick standby for any late check-ins. Come down. All right, nothing heard. 7-3 to Cliff, to Jim, and to Ray. Hope you guys have a great day. Steve, you overindulged on your fig crop. Well, I've done that too. Years back when I worked for a propane company that had a store in Spruce Pine, Hendersonville, and in Spartanburg. One of my maintenance fellows in Spartanburg had several fig trees, and his wife made fig preserves, and man, those were some of the best things I've ever tasted. And they gave me a sack of ripe figs also, and I did the same thing you did. I overindulged. And you pay for it. And on holding down that garage tent, well, every year at Shelby we put up three of those, sometimes 4. And we use rebar like Charlie was talking about, and ratchet straps. We put ratchet straps across one of the upper horizontal bars or rods and connect it to those rebar that's driven in the ground and crank it down pretty tight, because those things are, in a good wind, they turn into a parachute or a parasail. And I've seen too many of them leave the country. Buddy, I'm curious. You said you were, I think you said 28 burners, something like that, a phenomenal amount. And you were talking about using horizontal tanks, and I'm wondering if you're going to pull liquid or vapor. That would sure make a difference, you know, like a lot of times on some of the larger engines, they draw liquid off the tank and run it through a vaporizer at the engine and turn it back into vapor before it goes in to be burned. But I'm curious. If you're pulling vapor, then I would definitely wire the tanks into one regulator. And I'm wondering what pressure you're going to send to the burner. You know, most of your normal appliances use half PSI for propane, but some of the folks that do glass blowing and things like that run high pressure to their nozzles. So I'm just curious what you're going to run there. And Charlie sounds like he's got the information on a pretty neat setup. Let's see, what else? And Charlie, I'm curious. You talked about checking the road conditions. I'm wondering what you use to do that. Do you use an app? Do you use a computer program? What are you using to look at road conditions and on the different roads around there? Well, we have plenty of time for 73 round. Cliff is signed, so Buddy will turn it to George. Jim signed, so George it goes to Glenn. And Ray signed, so Glenn gives it to Lee. I hope you guys have a good luncheon today. So, let's do a 73 round. N4LQ, WA4LLR.
WA4LLR, N4LQ. Very good round. Copied everybody extremely solid here. And Lee just about blew my speaker out. I'm telling you, Lee, you're the strongest one by far up here in Shelby. Well, anyway, I'm anxious to see what happens next week with the weather. It's predicted to be rainy all week, so let's hope it's not correct, but I guess we need the rain. But I'll try to drive over there maybe every other day or so, Monday, Tuesday. I think Thursday is kind of the beginning of most of the activity, and Friday's a big day. And of course, there's no charge to get in. those days until Saturday, as I recall. You can just drive in there and drive around. But who knows? They may change that. Anyway, Jimmy set my dog off. All that squeal and my dog started barking, and that was kind of funny. That probably got a volume control somewhere on the receiver, Jimmy. I don't know. That sometimes helps. And Charlie, okay on the .01 caps. That's such a common mod on just about every transmitter. I don't know why they restricted the lows so much. I guess they wanted all the energy going toward the vocal range or something. But anyway, I guess we'll go ahead and say our 73s and pass it along to Clyde. N4 CLY, N4 LQ.
All right, thanks again, Steve. Yeah, I'll take that advice, you guys. Appreciate it. I will go get some of that 3-foot rebar, drive it in, and go over to Harbor Freight and grab some ratchet straps and tie it down nice and tight. That way I don't have to worry about it. I'll say 7-3s to everybody. Hope y'all have a great week. I'll be at Shelby probably Friday and Saturday, and maybe I'll see you there. N4CLY over to NC4ON. 7-3.
Yeah, Roger, Clay, N4CLY, NC4ON. I'm going to try myself to be at the Shelby Hamfest. It sounds like a nice thing to do, and looking forward to meet some of you folks over there, maybe on Friday afternoon or something. All right, very good. Well, thanks for doing the net, Dave. Everybody was coming in beautiful. Also, Ray, I copied you just beautiful today, much stronger than usual. So I guess we got a mutual improvement of receive. That's awesome. Okay, well, thank you, Dave, for doing the net. 73s to all of you, and hope to see you on Thursday. All right, back over to you, buddy. WB4ARK, NC4ON, 7-3s.
NC4ON, WB4ARK. All right, well, that time Clyde signal did not have any QSB on it. It was solid all the way, and there was no QSB on George's signal the last go around, and a little bit of QSB on Ray's signal right at the very end. But Ray, your signal is super strong today. Much stronger, I think, than I've heard in the past. So thank you, Dave, for the information. These are going to be pressure cylinders. They have a rail on the bottom of the one side of the cylinder where it is attached to some device which holds it in position, and so it runs on pressure, vapor, not liquid. And I wasn't sure that you could actually wire two of those tanks together and then go to a regulator. So we'll look at that. And thanks, Charlie, for the information on the Benji burner. We'll take a look at that. Duncan has an idea of the burners that he wants to use, and they produce quite a nice flame. So we'll be probably using those burners. I think he's got his mind set on using those because he's got some friends that have used those types of burners. Let's see what else we got here. Well, I guess that's about it. We'll send it over to George. And thanks, Dave, for doing the net today. been an enjoyable net. Signal's been strong. So K4 GDN, WB4 ARK.
Go ahead, Glenn.
All right. Yeah, caught me napping there. This is N4AK, and I have the message channel. We're gonna meet at Tony's, Tony's. The address is 704 West Main Street. So when you come into Pickens, instead of taking a right down to the old restaurant, you'll just go straight, and that's West Main. It'll be on your right. So 704 West Main Street, Tony's. And Lee, there's no stairs involved, so don't worry about that. No stairs involved. So Charlie, I assume that you still have my telephone number for my son. Yeah, if you need it, let me know. I'll call you, but just keep me posted. It takes me about 20 minutes to drive in from here to the restaurant. And then when we come out to the house after that, I'll have the radios downstairs for us. And Lee, I have a book for you, if you're still reading some, called Flyboys. I don't know if you read it, but it's a pretty good, interesting book on aviation in World War II. So, K4VWD and 4AK.
Okay, Glenn, thank you. I look forward to the book. This is K4VWD from N4AK. Well, I'm going to say thank you, Dave, for doing the net and giving us all that information. That was good. And by the way, I don't think I mentioned, maybe I did, I'm using the Bandit amplifier, about 200 watts, and I'm using my static 10D microphone. So I don't know, maybe someday I'll get a lollipop and try it. But anyway, it's been good on the net today. Thank you very much, Dave. And looking forward to seeing you, Glenn, and you, Charlie. And with that, I'll say 7-3, God bless. I look forward to talking to you on Thursday morning. W4MEC, K4VWD.
Very good, Lee, K4VWD and the old friends, W4MEC. Okay, got the address, Glenn. And it takes about 40 minutes to get from Lee to Pickens to the restaurant there, so we'll give you a call about 20 minutes out. And let's see what else I got here. Road service checking traffic. I use Road Now on my home computer, and I also, of course, when I bring my fancy phone, I also use Road Now there. But all I do there is hit that Google button there where the microphone, where you don't have to type stuff in, and I just say I-26 road, I-26 traffic, North Carolina. And it brings up several options, one of which is Road Now, and I just picked that one. I guess there's a way to save it, but I haven't figured it out yet. Let's see. I remember years ago seeing an odd-looking thing stuck in the ground on tents and stuff, especially in small carnivals and stuff like that, and it took a while as a kid to understand what it was, and it was axles. off of a differential. I guess they scrapped them out, but they keep the axle with the pinion gear on it there, and I'd see those things driven in the ground and stuff tied off to them. Thought that was I guess a good way to reuse stuff, and they were sure heavy duty, that's for sure. And let's see, whatever. Oh, look up those Benji burners. There was an article a couple years ago now in Live Steam and Outdoor Railroading, and they did some comparisons, and they were very highly rated. On the main thing, of course, is dissipating the flame and not have a pinpoint. And check them out there. They got a website and email and all that stuff. So they've been around a while now. So, and that's about it for me. I don't see any other notes here. Some I can't read. But anyway, thanks for running the net, Dave, and we'll look for everybody on Thursday. For now, WA4LLR in the group, W4MEC.
All right, very good. One comment, Steve. They do charge for Fridays now. They require a ticket on Friday at Shelby. But Monday through Thursday is open season. But they saw so many people coming on Friday, they started selling tickets. Anyway, any final comments for the net? Come now. Nothing heard. All right, gentlemen. It's been a good net. I appreciate everyone turning out, checking in. Good signals all the way around. Hope you have a great week coming up. Looking forward to talking with you Thursday. So 7-3 and God bless. This is WA4LLR Burnsville, North Carolina, closing this session of the Old Friends Net. 7-3.